Welcome to week 2 of the Mo Cowbell 2022 Marathon Training Block. Hey, my name's Andy. This is my channel. We mostly talk about running, and right now I am in the middle of a marathon training block, specifically the training block for the 2022 Mo Cowbell Marathon in St. Charles, Missouri. So as a quick recap, my training weeks basically start on Monday, they end on Sunday, culminating in the long run, and I try to get 1 or 2 structured workouts in a week, Tuesday or Thursday. Everything else is just like easy miles under the legs until Sunday, which is the long run. These videos, the ones that I make on Sunday, they drop Monday morning. I decided I'm gonna do kind of a weekly training recap video. It's just kind of dry, bare bones type stuff, but anyone who's interested, this is my training that I'm using to chase the 3-hour marathon like threshold, I guess, if you will, the breaking point, the goal, right? This week, I ran a total of 52.4 miles, 30.9 miles on the bike, and I walked 4.6 miles for good measure. One of the things I really want to do, especially early in this training block, is make sure that I cross-train pretty well. I think there's some strength benefits, I think there's some like muscle activation benefits, and I think those are things that I need to power through the end of my marathons. So what I've done, if you haven't been following, I signed up for a sprint triathlon in August, and that's motivating me to make sure I at least hit the bike. I might try to swim some, or I might just wing it when it comes to the swimming in the pool, but I'm at least gonna get good biking mileage in early in this training block and some walking. So let's dive right in, not the pool, let's dive right in to the week of training that was. So Mondays are always kind of like an active recovery day for me, coming off of the long run on Sunday. And this Monday, there was actually 2 runs, 5.01 miles and an average pace of 8 minutes and 49 seconds per mile and an average heart rate of 132 beats per minute. The pace was a little slow, but the heart rate was fantastic. And then after that run, I came back and I did an extra 2.04 miles with the wife, a couple more easy miles. In short, I really try to keep Monday's runs simple and short and really promote recovery, but while keeping the legs moving and really just staying in the habit of getting up and getting out the door. I also bike commute typically when I go into the office, and most weeks I do that on Monday. I'm not gonna do it this Monday, but most weeks I do that on Monday. And it's roughly like 7 3/4 to 8 miles to and from the train station. This week, it really just depends on like when I start the watch. This week the watch was telling me it was 7.61 miles round trip, and that was on a fitness bike, not my road bike, because my bike was in the shop, but I got it back and I used it later in the week. We will talk about that. So Tuesday, moving on to Tuesday. Tuesday is one of the structured workout days. I always try to do at least 1 structured workout a week. It's either Tuesday or Thursdays, and most weeks I try to do 1 or 2 structured workouts, 1 on each day. This week, Tuesday was a quote-unquote speed ladder, and obviously speed's relative, right? Elites versus hobby joggers like myself, so on and so forth. But I did a speed ladder. The speed ladder consisted of a mile warm-up, which was done in 9:09 pace, so really a true warm-up. Then a 1/4 mile in 86 seconds. A 1/2 mile at a 6 minute and 16 second per mile pace. A mile at 6 minutes and 48 seconds per mile, and that middle mile in the ladder, I'm really trying to get that like right at marathon pace, so I just about hit it on this one. And then coming back down the ladder, there was a 1/2 mile at 6:08 pace, so a little bit faster than the first 1/2 mile, and the 1/4 mile in 85 seconds, so just 1 second faster, but faster nonetheless. And that's really what I try to focus on in these speed ladders is there's the times I want to hit, and I hit all of them this week, and I'm trying to make the second half better or faster than the first half. Going up the ladder, I want coming down to be better. After that run, came back and did a 1.6 mile walk with the wife, just something to kind of recover after the run, keep the legs moving, keep the blood flowing, and just get back out there and spend some quality time, right, with the family, with the wife. Wednesdays are like my midweek easy mileage runs. Last week was 5, this week was 8. It will eventually get to 12. So not really like long run territory, kind of the middle distances for me. I mean, I know 12 miles is barely middle distance for some people, but for me, it's a good middle distance. It's just nice, easy miles. This week it was 8:43 per mile with an average heart rate of 142 beats per minute. The real reason why I want these like really pretty easy is because when I do the Tuesday and Thursday structured workouts, I need to have the legs ready for Thursday, right? So Tuesday eats up the legs, Wednesday freshens them back up, Thursday it's time to go again, and this Thursday I did some interval work. Now, I'm a bigger fan of like mile repeats, or some people will say like 1K repeats, or some people do it by timer, like 6-minute repeats. I'm also a fan of half-mile repeats, but because I had the 5K coming up this week, we'll talk about that at the end of the video, but I have a 5K coming up this week, I wanted to do the intervals in quarter miles, and I wanted to do them just to kind of open up the gate a little bit, let it feel like there's some speed, some turnover in the legs, again, all relative. So this week was 6 total miles, including 8 quarter-mile intervals. The goal with the quarter-mile intervals is to have them all under 5K race pace, which is 6 minutes per mile, or its desired race pace, so 6 minutes per mile. So that means all of them need to be under 90 seconds. And this week, we succeeded. Got the point, 1 mile, recovery, and then the last quarter. They've all been under the 5K pace, under 6 minutes, which is good. Most of them been at like 5:45 or better, which is solid. Maybe would have liked them a little bit quicker, but that's okay. One last one. Let's get through it. Including the very last one being in 73 seconds. So I always like to try to finish whatever interval workout I'm doing, whether it's quarter miles, half miles, miles, 1Ks, 6 minutes, whatever. I try to finish with the last rep being the strongest, fastest, however you want to describe it, one, just as a way to kind of train the mind, train the body about how to really push at the end of a challenging run. And this week, I guess those Wednesday, like getting the legs back in shape miles worked fantastic because I got back to the house and I had like a ton of energy. I was like the Energizer Bunny, the legs felt fantastic. The workout honestly didn't seem that hard this week. Like maybe that's a good sign. I should have gone faster, right? Or added more reps, but whatever. I stuck to the plan as far as the run goes. I got back to the house and I had been itching, absolutely itching to take out my freshly tuned road bike. I just got it back from the shop, new tires, new bladders, not new, but retuned gears, greased, oiled, all that sort of stuff, and it feels so good. It had gotten squeaky, it had gotten like kind of hard to pedal. It feels fantastic. So I took it out just for a really simple 10.15 miles, 15.2 miles per hour, so not like trailblazing, but like a decent tempo. Average heart rate of 124 beats per minute. I don't yet have cycling shoes, so if anyone has really good recommendations on like an entry-level cycling shoe that I can put on the bike, get the pedals, and use for the triathlon, that would be great. I don't want to go out there and spend like $300. I just want nice entry-level shoes. Anyway, Thursday was fantastic. So Fridays and Saturdays, I try to do like back-to-back, relatively easy runs to set my legs up for Sunday. And specifically, Fridays in this training block, I'm going to focus on a short, easy run, and then some cross training, which is mostly going to be hitting the bike. So this Friday, It was a very gentle 4 miles at 9 minutes and 18 seconds per mile. Heart rate was very low. I think it was like in the 120s. I have to go back and look. I didn't put that in my notes, but I think it was in the 120s. And then I did a 13.13 mile bike ride, 15.3 miles, so 1/10 mile per hour faster than the Thursday bike ride, but the heart rate was down at 115. So felt really good. The bike feels so smooth. It's fantastic. I need to get them soon, right? I need to get cycling shoes soon to get practice in, because we're only about a month and a half away from the sprint try. Also got back to the house on Friday and took the dogs for a half-mile walk. That was great. Saturday, like I said, the second of the easy days. So Saturday, I hit the trail, get 5 miles in at 8 minutes and 56 seconds per mile. Average heart rate, let's see, of 138. So nothing too crazy, just nice, easy miles. Again, back-to-back days to recondition the legs, to get them ready for the long run on Sunday. Also did a 1.25 mile walk with the wife. And that brings us to this morning. This morning, I set the alarm early, 4:45. Got out the door a little after 5 for 16.01 glorious miles. I love my long runs. I know I did 16 last week, doing 16 this week. They start to increase, don't worry about it, but I'm only in week 2 of the training block, so we don't want to like ramp up to 20. We don't want 8 weeks of 20 miles. At least I don't think so. I'm looking for 4 to 5 20 milers in this training block. So it means we got to hold steady, we got to increase slowly. So back-to-back 16-mile weeks. This week was in 7 minutes and 53 seconds per mile, and that's really like the long runs are kind of a tell for me, the pace versus heart rate. Previously, the long runs had always been like 8.5 minutes per mile, and the heart rate was like trending higher. This block, I'm trying to keep them under 8 minutes per mile, and the heart rates have so far been reasonable. Today it drifted a little high at times, 154 beats per minute. It was really interesting. So, you know, obviously I carry like a camera with me most of the time. That's how I get the footage. And most of the time, like when I'm holding it, when I extend it and I'm holding the camera, like maybe the heart rate goes up a little bit, but not a lot. But this morning it went up a lot. Like I would extend the camera and hold it, you know, for 20 seconds or whatever, 30 seconds to get the shot. And like my heart rate would jump, I don't know, 10 or 15 beats per minute. And so, you know, I tried to kind of limit the clips that I was getting today because it was really messing with my heart rate. But they drifted a little high, so aside from the camera thing, you know, it's also getting a little warm again. So by the time that I went out, it was already in the mid-70s, and humidity was really high for this part of the country this time of the year because we had just like fresh storms roll through yesterday, rain overnight, rain during the day, and all that moisture is kind of in the air. And, you know, it takes a little bit of time to acclimate to the heat and humidity, and like we'll get there, right? In not too far from now, we will be comfortable, our body will adapt, my body will adapt to running, you know, in the 80s, maybe even the low 90s at a decent pace efficiently. But it's not there yet, and so I'm not too worried about the heart rate drifting up a little bit today. If it happens again next week or it drifts up even higher, you know, then we'll try to consider like what's going on. Maybe, you know, maybe it's sleep, maybe it's the diet, a whole bunch of different things that we can tinker with. But for now, not too worried about it. It was fine. So with that weekly recap out of the way, let's talk about the week that is coming, because it is race week. I only have two. I have 2 planned timed official 5Ks on the calendar for the rest of 2022. I would like to get a PR in one of them. This is the first chance. So what that means for the rest of the mileage from now until Thursday when we toe the line, it's all going to be easy. No structured workout on Tuesday. I will probably add some strides to the end of the mileage. I'm not planning on reducing the mileage at all. I'm just planning on taking out the intensity early in the week. Mileage is going to stay there because, again, like my A race, the main goal of this block is to get to the marathon and perform well there. So I need to get the mileage in the leg, but we're going to pull the intensity out, do some strides, keep the gate open. But hopefully just pulling out the intensity will let us get to Thursday with pretty fresh legs, ready to try to chase down a PR. The biggest concern that I have on Thursday is it's going to be like in the mid-90s during the day. And this is like a early evening, really late afternoon race. I forget exactly when it kicks off. Maybe I'll toss it up on the screen. Maybe I won't. But anyway, it might be hot. And like I just said, it has not been hot long enough, often enough up here for me to be acclimated to that temperature. So we'll just have to see, right? I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm not going to like dehydrate myself. I'm not going to massively overheat myself. If I feel good, I will keep pushing. If something feels off, I'm not afraid to slow down, because again, this particular 5K, while I want to do well, is not the goal race for the overall year. It's the marathon. And when you like severely dehydrate yourself, or you run into like heat exhaustion or stuff like that, it can be a big problem. And it can like really take your body weeks upon weeks to fully recover from that. So be careful out there, listen to your body, and just don't overdo it, right? Especially as the summer heats up. I think that's all I got for this one. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. Perhaps let us know how your trainings go. What races are you targeting this year? What distances? What specific races? Maybe you'd like to subscribe. You know, you could drop a like, you could hit that notification bell. All of those are free, and it would greatly help the channel. I'd appreciate it. So until next time, I'll talk to you later.